Today we're back looking at the stories in Mark of Jesus. We begin a new section today that starts in Mark chapter 6. Now, if you're a sci-fi fan like I am, you may remember the movie 2001, A Space Odyssey. In that movie, at a particular point, the sounds of sunrise from music written by Richard Strauss, also Sprach Zarathustra, begin to sound. Do you remember that? That's a moving score. Um, Richard Strauss was born in 1864 in the city of Munich. He was an incredible prodigy. He began writing music by the time he was 6 years old. By the time he was 22, he had actually gone to Meiningen, Germany, where he was the primary chief conductor of the Meiningen State Orchestra. 22 years old, he moved back to his hometown of Munich, looked for a job. They were looking for a conductor after the former conductor had resigned. But instead of getting that job, he was offered the position of music director. Now, he would conduct the orchestra once in a while, but he wasn't even the number two. He was the third option to conduct the orchestra. They simply knew him too well. It was his hometown, and they couldn't get away from thinking of little Ricky Strauss. Well, in chapter 6, we read something similar. Jesus left there and went to his hometown accompanied by his disciples. And when the Sabbath came, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were amazed. But they said, where did this man get these things? What's this wisdom that's been given him that he even does miracles? Isn't this the carpenter? Isn't this Mary's son, the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Aren't his sisters here with us? And they took offense at him. And Jesus said, only in his hometown, among his own relatives, in his own house, is a prophet without honor. He was amazed at their lack of faith. Jesus was not necessarily rejected, but he was ignored in his own hometown. They knew him too well. Now we don't really run the chance of thinking less of Jesus. We lived after the crucifixion, after the resurrection. We know that he's the Son of God, but we do run the chance of considering his body as just another thing to do. When we come together as a church, why do we come together as a church? During this time of COVID-19, we've had the possibility, we've been forced actually to stop meeting together as a church. And it opens the doors for us to consider what church really is. This week, think about that question. What is the church to you? Don't make it just another thing to do. Let it be what it truly is, the body of Christ, coming together, first of all, to worship him, but also to unify as a body and discover ways to reach out to the culture that so needs Christ. I look forward to sharing with you tomorrow.